We're going to talk concert photography trash today, and no one's going to get pissed off. No one. We're all going to have a good time. So stay tuned and let's talk some trash. I'm Robert Maxfield. I'm a concert photographer in Dallas, Texas, and welcome to my channel. Hey, and stay and watch to the end of the video because I'm going to give examples. I'm going to show you photographs of before, after, during, and all that kind of stuff, and that's going to be at the end of the video. One of the big deals going on right now is artificial intelligence, AI, and how that affects your photography. And another one is denoising and that kind of thing. And I'm not against technology at all, and I don't have any problem with it. I have a problem with you know, bad photography, but not technology. So technology is okay. There does come a point where you use technology to work on your photographs that it changes the your total photograph. It makes it where it's not the same photograph anymore. So what do I mean? Well, let's say you start taking things out of your photograph that are very important to the photograph, not in the traditional way, and give you an idea: mic stands, lighting, amplifiers, people. You start taking those and removing those things from your photograph, and that changes your photograph from reality to not being real at all. It's a whole different thing. It's not real and it doesn't exist. Is that wrong? Yes or no? Who knows, man? It just depends on your point of view. But it makes it so you're not capturing what actually happened. You're actually taking something and changing it drastically. Now, it may be all right to take and remove a little blemish here, a little blemish there, something like that. And remember that and a lot of times concert stages are not the normally clean kind of environment. A lot of times you'll find beer bottles and drink cups, and you'll find bags of chips and stuff like that. One of the biggest things to think about, if you've ever seen Freddie Mercury playing Bohemian Rhapsody at Wembley, on the piano was a row of cups, like plastic Dixie cups that were used. If they removed that from that piano, would that give you the same feeling as what you had with them being there? So you have to look at how the photograph is in context. Okay, I'm not going to rip up these guys that use, you know, 1 billion ISO and denoise and stuff like that. The only thing I'm going to say about that is when your photographs start looking plastic, like Toy Story, instead of looking like real photographs, which a lot of them come out and they look fake, the skin tones and the textures and stuff don't look real, then that may be a problem. But other than that, if you use it to clean up stuff and take care of some things, that I see is probably all right. But it gets to the point where too much technology it can be a problem, and you have to think about when you save and you capture that photograph, what are you doing to preserve history? And is the history of what you're shooting, is that important? Now, here's the next thing. You'll see a lot of people making photographs into black and white to get around the problem of bad color lighting. Okay. Black and white is kind of a touchy subject when it comes to concert photography. One, because a lot of concert photography, say from 1990 on down to whenever concert photography started, was shot in black and white because that was the film that was affordable. It was easily developed. You didn't really trust your local photomat or Fox Photo or whoever did your photo work with your color photos because they could mangle them, steal them, do whatever they thought they could do with them. So a lot of concert photography was done in black and white. The other thing is, in this kind of thing, it's real easy to take photographs because the photograph comes out in color regardless. And then in Photoshop, what you do is the flick of a couple settings and you remove all the color and put it to grayscale. In the past, you had to physically change out the roll of film, and you couldn't do it without a lot of headache, because if, say, you're 16 shots or 8 shots into a roll of 24 or in a roll of 36, all of a sudden you had a problem to figuring out, oops, I want to change it. Or, like I do anyway nowadays, you carry 2 cameras, one with black and white and one with color. So there are times also that you'll take that color shot and it just looks better in black and white. Okay, that's fine. There are times that some shots just look horrid in color, and but using black and white and color to correct color problems is a last resort, in my opinion. It's a headache because you're not giving what the true scene looked like. If you can do something in color, that's even better. Okay, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to show you a couple photos of examples of what I'm talking about. Talking about trash and clutter, and some of the things you might consider doing to get around the trash and clutter. It's real simple. When you're looking through the viewfinder and you're looking at the scene, look at the scene and see what is going on. Pay attention to your surroundings rather than get tunnel vision and just look at the artist or whatever. Look on the stage to make sure that you're not photographing into a pile of crap. And if you are, then how can you address that, or do you even need to address that kind of thing with your photograph? These 3 shots of Gracie York shot at the Toyota Music Factory. The first one could be considered a good shot in its own right, but there are some flaws, or maybe there's not. It just depends on your point of view. If you notice in this shot, there is a dolly with a Coleman cooler on top of it and a guy sitting in the back. This is the shot I decided to settle on by cropping out all that kind of distractions. This shot is of Jason Boland in the Tana Hill Tavern at the Fort Worth Stockyards. If you notice, there's a whole bunch of a rat's nest of stuff behind him, and there's a beer bottle on stage. I still use this shot. I thought it was very good, or one very similar to it, but I also picked this shot to use because it didn't have all the distractions. This shot is of Trinidad Leal of the Dirty River Boys, and it's done at Panther Island in Fort Worth. And if you notice, there's a lot of extra stuff that you don't need in the photograph, including beer bottles, water bottles, stuff like that, but you couldn't get rid of them for the most part. So what I did is I took the top and the bottom and I pushed them in and cropped it a lot so you didn't get as much distraction from those items on the scene. Hey, thank you for viewing. If you have any comments, confusions, concerns, anything like that, man, put them in the comments and we'll take care of them and we'll answer you. Like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Until next week, we'll see you next week. Bye.